on the Vince Everett Ellison show. The Democratic Party just spent $20 million to figure out why men are leaving the party. I'm going to explain it to them for less than $5 today on the Vince Everett Ellison show. All right, let's get this thing started. Man, the Democrat Party. I told you, them suckers crazy. I mean, when I said they're crazy, sometimes people think that I'm using it as a euphemism. You know, like, oh man, that dude crazy. Oh man, that joke, no, he crazy. Oh man, you just out there crazy stuff. No. I'm using it as stone cold fact. The Democratic Party, the leadership of the Democratic Party is absolutely, positively, fundamentally insane. It does that, y'all. It's a strange thing about power. It does corrupt. You know, Niski said power corrupts absolutely. And it's true. And when people get power, as Abraham Lincoln said, any man can handle adversity. But if you want to really test a man, give him power. I mean, case in point, we watching P. Diddy go down, right? P. Diddy got power, lost his mind. Michael Jackson got power, lost his mind. Saddam Hussein got power, lost his mind. Matter of fact, the reason why George Washington was so interesting to the world was that he was one of the few people that was ever given as much power as he gave. George Washington had an army at the end of the American Revolution. He could have walked into Philadelphia or New York or wherever they were and said, I want the power. And they couldn't have stopped him. Instead, he came in, turned over his sword, and went back to Mount Vernon. They had to call him out of retirement to become president. And then he went back after 2 terms and went back home. And when he did that, the whole world was aghast that George Washington had that much power and just turned it over. You see people, kings died on the throne. Very seldom in history did you ever see a king advocate and just step down and give his throne to somebody else. You had to kill them to get them off. Power. Drives them crazy. They were so crazy at the DNC, Joe Biden had cancer and dementia at the same time. And that sucker wouldn't leave the presidency. Ran for it 3 times until he got it. Power. Well, this is what's going on with them right now to show you how crazy they are. The Democratic Party just spent $20 million. And this is the headline. Dems dropped $20 million on bizarre American men strategy. Plan, study, and effort to dig out of 2024 political hole. This is Fox News. So they spent $20 million to figure out why men are leaving the Democratic Party. Hell, I can tell you right now. They are so unaware. They have no self-awareness. They don't understand that for them to try to figure out why men are leaving the Democratic Party, it's like Colonel Sanders trying to figure out why chickens don't want to be at KFC. Them trying to figure out why men don't want to be in the Democratic Party is like, Nazis trying to figure out why Jews don't want to be a part of the Nazi Party. Democrats trying to figure out why men don't want to be a part of the Democratic Party is like a butcher knife trying to figure out why a goat don't want to be around it. You have a strategy of destroying men. You want to use federal funds to castrate men and call them women. Every time a man hears that, he just grabs it and says, what? And y'all try to be slick. Y'all try to use those little euphemisms. Oh, it's gender-affirming care. Now, to a person that probably got a bad public school education, gender-affirming care just basically means, oh, this person is a woman and we want to help them remain a woman, help them with their woman stuff. This guy is a man and we want to help them with their man stuff, gender-affirming care. No, y'all, gender-affirming care means castrating men and cutting off the breasts of women and using the federal and for using federal money to do it, and use the public educational system to teach young children that this is proper behavior. That's gender-affirming care. And now, because of people like me, I'm telling people what you guys are doing. And men can't stand the Democratic Party. As a matter of fact, if you are a man with a little bit of testosterone in your system and in your body, you need to get as far away from that party as you possibly can, because I'm telling you, the Democratic Party doesn't just have a war on women, they have a war on men. Matter of fact, the Democratic Party said a man can be a woman. It says a man can have children. Y'all think I'm lying? That's how sick these people are, man. So I'm going to read you what this story says about them, about these stupid suckers spending $20 million to study men. All right. It's Fox News. This comes out on May 27th, so it wasn't that long ago. It says Democrats are spending $20 million on a study examining how to speak to American men. Why? Because they don't have any men in the party. Got a bunch of punks in the party. After losing ground with the demographic during the 2024 election cycle, the New York Times revealed, quote, speaking with men, a strategic plan, is a $20 million project crafted by Democrats to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virility in these spaces of male voters, the Times reported Sunday. Known as SAM, the acronym SAM, see what that stands for. Known as SAM, the study will specifically examine young male voters and how the party can connect with the demographic. Additionally, the study advised rolling out pro-Democrat ads in video games. That is so stupid. The study's revelation was made in an overarching article detailing the uphill battle Democrats face after the 2024 election, which included Democrats scrambling to replace former President Joe Biden as a nominee with just more than 100 days left in the election cycle and ultimately delivering all 7 battleground states to President Donald Trump. Anyway, boy. Yeah. Let me tell you what this is, y'all. This is the opening salvo in the destruction of the Democratic Party, which I told you was going to happen. Didn't I tell you? I told you. I told you they were done. When I started this podcast over a year ago, I told you them suckers were done. I said it on Tucker Carlson. I said it on Sean Hannity. I said it in my books. I predicted those suckers were done. You know why? Because they finally took off the mask. They were smart enough to lie for about, 60 years. And then they stopped lying. Well, they still try to lie, but they're not allowed to lie anymore. The perverts and the psychopaths, the liars and the anti-Christian bigots in the party said, no, you gonna own this. Consequently, you got men saying, no, I don't want no parts of it. And they haven't learned anything. They got that little, they got this little group. I saw it, man. It's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. They got this little gospel group. They're a gay gospel group. See, y'all think I'm lying, don't you? Y'all look at me and say, okay, Miss Ellison, you finally done took it too far. You finally took it too far. We accepted all the other stuff you said about the Democratic body. You know, castrating little boys, calling them little girls, double mastectomies, little girls, calling them little boys, aborting babies up to the 9th month, perinatal abortion. You know, men can get pregnant, men going in women's bathrooms, men in women's sports. But this, that, dumb stuff about a gay gospel group, you've taken it too far. Well, I'm going to tell you who they are. They are called the Harlem Gospel Travelers. And them suckers been nominated for a Grammy Award. And their claim to fame is they're a queer gospel group.
Something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime was a queer gospel group that was nominated for a Grammy. Yes, you heard me right.
Harlem Gospel Travelers, I love this. Congratulations on the nomination. I love that we're bringing Black queer representation to Roots, and it's just such a good vibe, and I just love to see it. I mean, what does this nomination mean for you to be breaking through, kind of breaking traditions, what I love?
It's really surreal, especially, coming from church and being a preacher's kid myself. My mom's actually here, so to see my mom support us as openly queer people, it shows the world that God loves us, our families can love us, and there's a space for us all.
He said there's a space for us all at the throne of grace. He also goes as non-binary. So he doesn't believe that he's a male nor female, even though God said he made male and female.
Got it?
Who are you wearing?
We're wearing GB Couture.
GB Couture?
Yep, all three of them.
So what inspired the look today?
This is all queer owned and styled by us because we are the first non-binary and openly queer group to be nominated in the gospel category.
Oh, well, congratulations. And what's the name of your group?
The Harlem Gospel Travelers.
Now let me read you something that they said. Now queer people get to see us, young Black people get to see us, Christians get to see us, and that's busting down doors and breaking glass ceilings. There you could see them singing gospel songs. Here's my take on the whole thing, guys. As far as a queer gospel group, there is no such thing. Now you can put the title on something all day long. Just because you call yourself something does not mean that you are that. There are thousands and thousands of individuals who call themselves Christians because their parents were Christians, because their grandparents were Christians, but they are in fact not Christians. The word of God says be doers of the word, not just hearers of the word. And we don't change the word of God to fit our lifestyles, but we change our lifestyles to fit the word of God. The word of God says to present yourself as a living sacrifice. So you may think and believe you were born a certain type of way, but God is saying, that's fine. Be born again. It's not about what we want. It's about what the Lord wants for us. When we step into this place of our truth and my truth, we've already missed it. I pray these individuals come into light because what they're doing is trying to promote a character in nature that is outside of God. There's no such thing.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Them suckers oh, Lord. That's a gay gospel group. And them low down, dirty, white liberal Democrats nominate them suckers for a Grammy. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay. The Harlem Gospel Travelers. I remember when we used to sing gospel music, me and my brothers, with my family, and the men that we used to sing with. They some tough old jokers, man. They were alpha males. They'd have beat them boys to death. I mean, I could have seen them with the Williams brothers and the Jackson Southern Dares, and the Highway QCs and the Soul Stirrers, and me and my brothers out there, and they walk up to tell me they're a queer gospel group. We'd have took out guitars and beat the hell out of them off we'd run up off the stage beating the hell out of them mic stands and guitars. But now they're accepted. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. They did. I don't know where to go with this. We don't want to accept them because if you accept them, you're gonna have like a whole. You're gonna have like tons of them coming out. And they're gonna be like queer gospel groups all in the church because these pastors ain't got no sense now. And I don't know I don't know. Maybe there has been a backlash from the church regarding this mess. And maybe they've told these little, I almost said something I shouldn't have said. They should have told these young men, y'all need to sit down back there somewhere and get delivered before y'all come here talking about y'all queer. I mean, when you go up there talking about you're a queer or you're a homosexual gospel group, that means, what the hell does it mean? I mean, I haven't seen anybody talk about they're a heterosexual gospel group. I don't know why you have to put your sexuality before the type of gospel group you are. I mean, are they saying that they all having sex with each other up there before they sing? That is a thought. But no, y'all, this is pride, an affront to God. And it's something else that's going to help us, which means I say us, I mean conservatives, take the election in 2026. We don't need to hide this. I got it on here because I want to highlight it so that everybody out there that still belongs to the Democratic Party, I'm telling y'all need to join y'all own little quartet of the Harlem Gospel Travelers. And it's almost like what the Nation of Islam used to do when they would have, like, if you join the nation, they would tell you to drop your last name and you give your X until you completed your studies. And when you complete your studies, then they give you your Muslim name. So Muhammad Ali used to be Cassius X because his name was Cassius Clay. And so they called him Cassius X, so he finished his studies, then he got his name Muhammad Ali. Okay, but if your name was John Johnson, they give you John X. But if there was another John in your mosque, they give you John 1X. And then another John be John 2X. So, John Smith, John Johnson, John Jones, they don't want you to get you mixed up. So John 1X, John 2X, John 3X, then you have a whole lot of John with different X's in there. Well, they should do this with the Harlem Gospel Travelers. All these little gay groups that's going to start sprouting up, they should do the Harlem Gospel Travelers 1, Harlem Gospel Travelers 2, Harlem Gospel Travelers 3, Harlem Gospel Travelers 4. So we know they're all a bunch of punks. Because that's the direction the church is going in anyway. I mean, Jamal Bryant is probably going to start his Harlem Gospel Traveler. all the black preachers going to get Harlem Gospel Traveler groups in their church. And then they're going to figure out, they're going to try to wonder why all the real men is leaving the Democratic Party. Please do that. I'll give money to that. I'll help y'all raise money to start a litany of Harlem Gospel Traveler groups all over the country so we can see just how prideful and abrasive and disrespectful you jokers have gotten. Harlem Gospel Travelers. So you're obviously anti-Christian. This is an affront to God. And you wondering why men are leaving the Democratic Party? A man that has any respect, any moxie, any testosterone, any manhood about him will look at this and say, I'm not going for this. Because the one thing that a man is supposed to do, he shows the whole truth of his traditions. What did your father teach you? And nobody has a right to turn you from that. That's the only thing another man is supposed to ask you when you're under the age of 21. What did your father teach you? Then that's what you do. And these Democrats think they have a right to say, the hell with what your daddy taught you. Your daddy wrong. We say, we believe something completely different, and you're going to do what we say. Yeah, that's what they believe. They believe they can come in your house and they can tell your children what to do, and if you don't do it, they'll send DSS to your house and have you arrested. They have said in the public educational system that their job is to teach the children different from their parents, to think for themselves. You heard them say that? Think for themselves? That means think like them. This is why your sons are wearing dresses. This is why the hip-hop culture is so terrible and so bad. This is why everything is going left, y'all. You have given over. You've contracted out your job as a parent to a bunch of perverts. And if there is a man that's affiliated with the Democratic Party right now, he's either evil, he's either extraordinarily ignorant and stupid, or you're a pervert. Evil, stupid, or pervert. And when I say pervert, I mean mostly probably some type of old gay, weirdo, bisexual pervert. I mean, they're the ones that are so perverted right now that they don't even know what perversion is any longer. They say that anything that you want to do, do it. I mean, just like, Diddy. Diddy might have had orangutans and monkeys and every daggum thing in the house. Mules. You don't ever know. He was drugging out. That was crazy. You look at preachers, politicians, Hollywood folk. I mean, all of the Iron Triangle and all of the Democratic Party emerged at Diddy's freak-offs. It ain't strange, y'all. Martin Luther King Jr. was doing the Diddy freak-offs, so Diddy was doing them. I think that Diddy was Martin Luther King Jr.'s bastard son or something, because he's just like him. They ought to go down to the King Monument right now and put a Diddy monument right beside him down there together. The Diddy King Monument. The Democrats just may well just change their name to the Diddycrats. Same thing. Do the same thing. But the freaking ingrates. Then all of them trying to run and hide now. Like they don't know Diddy. I hope Diddy call all their names out and say, y'all all with me. And you're trying to figure out why black men or men are leaving the Democratic Party. Man, you know what? Then you got this thing with the Democrats, where they really espouse feminism. Now look, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to make this as plain to you as I possibly can. Feminism isn't pro-woman. Got it? Feminism is anti-man. Oh! Did it hit you in the gut? Did it make you bend over? Just in case you didn't hear me, let me say that again. This is one of these Vince Ellison euphemisms you need to take and put it into your little line of Vince Ellison speak stuff. Feminism isn't pro-woman. Feminism is anti-man. Pro-woman is not feminism. Because pro-woman never tries to hurt men. Pro-woman never tries to hurt women. How does it hurt a woman? How does it help a woman? To be able to have 4 or 5 children by 4 or 5 different men and not get married. That's feminism. How does it help a woman to be married to a man and before she get married you tell her, we want you to make sure that you have a job so you don't be trapped in this marriage? Trapped. Hell, you still be trapped in it. The man trapped in it, the children trapped in it. You're all in it together. You remember the old song about Elvis' suspicious mind, caught in the trap, can't walk out, cause I love you too much, baby? How? But they tell you before you start, you need an escape hatch to get out of this. And you come into the marriage looking to get out of it. That's feminism. And then you take these women advice when you get into close to menopause and you spend the rest of your life in poverty by yourself. That's feminism. Feminism is having women working in coal mines and out there fighting and running down criminals and getting fighting in the street and all that kind of stuff, working in at airports, putting luggage in planes in rain and in snow and in sleet. Yeah, feminism is having women abort men's children without their permission and sometimes without even their knowledge. Yeah, it's having women have a body count where virginity is frowned upon, laughed at now. And then you got women with 20, 30, 40 male body count and don't know real man want them. And she's trying to figure out why. Feminism is telling a woman it's all right to be passed around, to have a hookup culture. And you want to understand why men are leaving the Democratic Party when you're teaching women and their daughters to act like that? Feminism is telling women to act like men. And I'm a man, and let me tell you straight up, player, I don't want no woman acting like me. Oh, hell no. If you want to get me away from you real quick, lady, start acting like me. Because I know if I end up doing you like I do a man that act like me, you're going to call the police on me. So you want to be able to play that little feminine card, act like a man, but then don't have to have the accountability of a man. See, because man, though, this is why I can get along with men. I can get along with men like me. Because a man like me understands that there's a certain line he can't cross, and he's going to have to deal with me. He knows that, and I know that with him too. So guess what you do? We get along. I don't offend him. He don't offend me. We shake hands. We're cool. But I can't understand the last time I had a violent confrontation with another man. And I know y'all watch this and y'all think that's crazy. You're out there fighting all the time. No, I don't. You'll be amazed. Yes. Nope. Oh, but they don't. But feminism is taught women they can walk up in men's faces, put their finger in their faces, call them out their name, talk about their mama. And if a man did that, and you cold cocked him and knocked him out and went to the judge said, let the man go. A woman does it and you do that to her, you're doing like 5-6 years in prison. That's why men are leaving the Democratic Party. Because if you taught a woman to be a woman, get anything from a man she wants. Had the joker work 3 jobs to take care of her. No, we don't like you. We want to teach our sons to be feminine, teach our women to be masculine. It's like the Planet of the Apes, man. Wake up one day, women acting like men acting like women. They got this crazy pride thing going on in D.C. right now. I read something in the paper today because a whole month going to be Pride Month in D.C. Every freak from all over the world is coming to D.C. and walk around in booty shorts and leather and baby oil, you know. People in D.C., you better watch where you're going. You go down the street alley, you're going to see something going on. You go behind a dumpster, you're going to see something going on. You go throw away your trash in the morning time, you're going to might see something behind a tree going on. These people have no impulse control, and they have no shame. And they all belong to the Democratic Party. And so I hope, and I'm going to try to find as much footage as I can of them freaks showing their behinds in the month of June in D.C. so I can show the men of America who the Democratic Party is and what is in store for you and your sons if you stay in this party. And when they see this, you ingrates are done. Oh, I'm having a good time with it. You guys lost the demographic under the age of 30 for the first time. Usually, young folks are liberal. But y'all showed out so bad this time that even young boys that ain't got no daddy at home say, I want no parts of this. And it's just going to get worse, y'all. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We beat y'all pretty bad the last election. But in 2026, y'all can kiss y'all asses goodbye. We're going to win the House. We're going to expand our seats in the Senate. And then in 2028, we're going to eradicate you because you don't have stopping sense. You are debased. You're insane. And here's the cool thing about it. Crazy people don't know they're crazy. They don't know it. You're crazy. And the cool thing about crazy people, it ain't cool. It's kind of sad. If someone doesn't come in and intervene, a crazy person kill itself. That's why you guys are imploding. You don't know how to stop. History is replete with crazy people either killing themselves, or other people coming and killing them because they become such a menace to society. Most of the time, they kill themselves. All you gotta do is just sit back and watch and make sure they don't hurt you. But when crazy people come out and start hurting other people, that's when the torches come out and they go and hunt Frankenstein down and burns his castle around him. It happened to Mussolini in Italy. It happened to Hitler. Took his own life. Saddam Hussein, Uday Qusay, took him out. Al-Assad in Syria just ran him out. If we don't get them Ayatollahs in Iran, they don't have much longer to stay here. They're going to be gone. They destroy themselves. Joe Biden, legacy destroyed. Destroyed. Of all the dirty crap this joker did, when they found out that he applied for re-election knowing that he had dementia and cancer at the same time, knew it, and everybody in the Democratic Party covered it up. This is how bad they wanted power, y'all. I knew it because I was telling y'all. The fact that this has all come to fruition and that the whole world is seeing it in real time to me, I just feel so vindicated, y'all. I mean, I got to pat my own self on the back. Told you he was crazy, told you he was sick, told you the Democratic Party was evil, told you they do anything for power, told you they hated America, told you they wanted to use this country as a worldwide hub for LGBTQ, climate change, open borders, and anti-Christian bigotry all over the world. That's why men are leaving the Democratic Party. They don't want to be anywhere around it for this type of stuff. So, to put it in a little box for you, why are men leaving the Democratic Party? Number one, you want to castrate little boys and call them little girls. Give double mastectomies to little girls and call them little boys. Number two, you want to kill their children with abortion up to the 9th month and even perinatal abortion with the Born Alive bill. Number three, you send your children to school to get an education, but you've just said, nah, we're going to bring your children to school and we're going to transition them. And most men say that if my son goes to school with a penis, he better come back home with one. They say if my little girl goes to school with 2 breasts, she better come back home with 2 breasts. You say, no, we have the right to cut them off without your permission. That the child can come to school and tell us what their pronouns are, and that if you don't call them by their pronouns at the house, we can have you arrested. Number 4, you bring drag queens to the school. Men in dresses, shaking their behinds in your children's faces. Yeah. Number 5, you let grown men participate in women's sports. That's just so stupid. Boys participate against your little girls in sports. And then you're going to encourage my son to participate against girls in girls' sports. Number 3, you're going to let men go into the locker room to shower with my daughter in school. And you're going to encourage my son to act like a girl so he can go shower and be in locker rooms with girls at schools. And then you're going to allow men to go into the bathrooms with my wife, my daughter, my mother, and my sister. And if I say anything about it, you'll have me arrested. And then you use federal money to pay for sex change operations. To turn grown men into women. Not say if you want to, pay for it yourself. No. You're going to make me pay for it. Those are just some of the reasons why men are leaving the Democratic Party. And I know this for sure because of the people that run the Democratic Party and the people that give the money to the Democratic Party. This is not going to change. So have at it. Continue your circle of firing squad. Have at it. I'm sitting here watching you guys commit suicide, and I am enjoying it. I got a ringside seat to something I've been wanting to see for the most of my adult life, the destruction of the Democratic Party, and I'm digging it, man. So I want you to subscribe. I want you to comment. I want you to like this content, y'all, because you know why? I'm here to wake you up. I hope I did you some good today. So join me again for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website, and on my website, you're going to see a lot of great stuff, man. You're going to see that we got t-shirts, we got caps, you got my books, my documentaries, you got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new t-shirts, we're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it, make it #1. If you got my first 3, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good, and it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We can no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the t-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.